Seriously, are you guys as excited as I am about sticky notes? Well, stick around. I'm going to show you how I use sticky notes as my productivity and as a project management tool. Hi everyone, I'm Sudi. I'm your project management coach. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe. I don't start my day without using a sticky note. How do I use it? You have to pick the top 3 to 5 things that you're planning to do. You may have a huge long to-do list, but that's not what sticky notes are used for. You want to make sure that you start fresh each day and you put down your top 3 to 5 items that are reasonable and you think you can accomplish them for the day. And that's really critical because you want to make sure that it's realistic. So you want to feel accomplished, you want to be able to cross things off and be done with it, not to just carry a boatload of to-do lists from one day to the next. That's how sticky notes organize my day. I start fresh, I walk into my office, and I pull out a brand new sticky note. I think through what's the top priority of what is a must-have that I need to get done for the day. And I make sure it's no more than 3 to 5 items. I may have a longer to-do list sitting on another piece of paper, but every day I start with a fresh list. Now the difference between a sticky note and keeping track of your to-do list on a notebook, for example, is that the notebook, it's going to keep piling up. You're going to keep adding to it and it goes from one day to the next. So you're going to go through pages and pages, and after a while, your to-do lists are going to get buried in everything that you've done. And it's hard to keep track and see what you left behind and what is your latest. If it's at the beginning, it might just gets mixed up with everything else that you might have crossed off and get lost. If it's at the end, that means it's one of your latest ones and the fresher to-do list, but you have to flip through the pages to get there. So in the middle of all that, you're just gonna get a mishmash of old and new to-do lists and not really know what the priority is. That's why I stick to one sticky note a day. I start fresh, brand new, and I put my top 3 to 5 items that I know for sure I need to get done that day. As I go through them, I get the satisfaction of crossing them off and getting it done. Now, if at the end of the day, there might be 1 or 2 items that are left behind, I throw out my old sticky note. The next day, I add it to a brand new one. Now, the sticky notes come in all sizes, but I like the regular square ones that come in because it's just the right size. The little ones are too little to write anything, and it's usually I just use them for labeling a notebook or a book. The bigger ones are just way too much writing, and then your message just gets lost in there and you lose focus. So you don't want to use too many words. You use 2 or 3 words that refreshes your memory what you need to do. I just love sticky notes for just organizing not just my work but my life, and I have them everywhere for different reasons. And it's funny because when I'm interviewing somebody, and I always ask, how do you organize yourself? And if they even mention a word sticky note, I'm like, there's a project manager in you. Now, how do I use it as a project management tool? Have you heard the word WBS, work breakdown structure? In another video, I'll go into depth about what WBS is. So this is the first part to the work breakdown structure using sticky notes. Part 2, I'll show you how to build a schedule based on the WBS we just built from the sticky notes today. First of all, imagine you have a project team. So you're sitting around in a conference room together. When you're building a WBS for your project, you want to start it as a brainstorming exercise. So you want to open it up to the rest of the team, everybody who is part of that project and is responsible for doing something, are most probably an expert in what they're doing. So only they know what it takes to get something done. What are the tasks that you need to do to get this project done? So what you do, you start with a blank set of sticky notes. You may just lay it out on a wall or on a board behind you and open it up to the team to start brainstorming. And you can help facilitate, well, what do you do here? After that, what happens? But to get to here, do you have to do anything else? And as the team is brainstorming ideas and what needs to get done, that's when you're writing it down on the sticky notes in no particular order, because you want the ideas and the brainstorming just flow through. So you just do this in so many rounds to get as much information as you can. So here's an example of what that might look like. In my example, I'm using how to build a house as a project. So you start with throwing out ideas, put a team together. You need to put the foundation. You need walls. You need electrical. You need a roof, windows and doors. You need plumbing. You need landscaping, permits. You need to put the blueprint together and design the house. At the very end, hand off the key. So when you get all your brainstorming done and identify all the tasks that needs to get done for the project, this is what it's going to look like. Go ahead and organize it in some of the phases that the project will go through: planning, execution, monitoring and control, and closing. So roughly, but in no particular order, I've organized them. The next video, we're going to take this and show how we're going to build a schedule from it. Hope this has been helpful. Thank you for watching. Again, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, make sure to hit the button, subscribe. See you in part 2, building a schedule from your WBS.